Alright, today we're going to be making these two custom dog food stands. And we're going to start off with the legs on there. Got some square stock here, some red oak. And I'm going to be cutting them down a length and getting the good wood out, get those knots out of there. And here I'm lining it up so I can set up a stop block so I can make good consistent cuts. And now I'm setting up the dado stack. And I'm gonna put a dado down the legs on two sides of each leg so I can secure the frame to it. And I went ahead and did through dados on here. I didn't want to, but I went ahead and did anyways because it's just a little bit safer for me. I didn't feel comfortable doing the stop dado. But what I'll do is I'll end up going back and cutting some little pieces of stock. And as you see right here, I'm gluing in some little pieces in there to fill in where I went all the way through. Put some glue on there and clamping it up, allow it to dry. And decided I'd go take a little break while that dries. And I made a very generic taper jig here. I'm going to taper these legs just on two sides. I mean, it's generic, but it definitely got the job done. Now I'm taking the legs over and I'm gonna break these edges with a slight round over. Then I'll also round over the very bottoms to keep it from tearing out when it's on the floor. And now I'm gonna start putting the frame together, start gluing it up. And as I said, this is red oak, and the frame itself is plywood with red oak veneer. Gonna clamp them up, let them dry. And then I came back and after I got the two sides done, now I'm gonna glue up the rest of it, make it a complete frame. Clamp it up, as always. And while that's drying, I'm gonna move on to the tops. And I've got some 8/4 stock here, cutting it to length, rough length on the miter saw. Turn my dust collection on. And I'm gonna square one face, then I'm gonna square one side. then I took it over to the bandsaw and I'm gonna resaw this down to approximately 1 inch. And I'm just flattening that side that was just resawn. And now I'm putting it on the planer to get it down to the correct thickness. Now I'm going to glue these two up, join them together. Clamp them up, clean up the squeeze out. And after they had time to dry, I'm bringing it over to the table saw and gonna bring it down to the correct length and width. And after that, I'm gonna round over the edges. Didn't want to have any sharp edges for the dogs that would be using this, so they don't hit the snout on it. And now what I'm doing, I'm finding the center. Because I want to divide it up equally, and then make sure that the holes are centered in an equal distance from each side. Got my compass out. Make a nice little circle for the cutout of the bowls. And I'm just going to drill a hole here so I can get the jigsaw out and cut the centers out. And I cut as close to the line as I could without going over the line, and didn't want to take any chances of doing that. So I'm just using my oscillating sander here to sand it down to the lines that I drew with my compass. And this is how the bows will fit down in there. And after sanding it down, I want to go ahead and there again, I want to break these edges with the round over. Oh yeah? And I'm going to use these little figure 8 clamps, whatever you call these things, to secure the top to the bottom. And as you can see, they fit in there just like so, and they're flush. And after getting all 4 of those done, I'm going to go ahead and apply the sealant. And now I'm gonna put the stain on the bottom of the frame. And that sealant I used on the top, I believe that was tung oil. And this stain, I believe, is dark walnut, I believe. Really brought that grain out on that red oak. And now I'm applying some lacquer. And I probably applied 6, 7 coats of lacquer on there. And about 2 coats on the bottom. And as you can see here now, I'm putting those little figure 8s in. And measuring to make sure I've got it equal on all sides. Using the hole punch so I can get a center so the drill bit won't wander on me too bad. Screwing it down, and that's how it looks so far. And I had got these letters done on CNC from a friend of mine, and now I'm just putting that same tung oil on there. And on the other one, the letters were actually a little too big and didn't fit, so I actually had to sand those down until I got them to the correct size. And I pin nailed these letters down. And getting a little closer to the finish. And I appreciate you watching the video, and if you'd please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on the video, hit that little bell. I would appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.